جدا هالكتاب اختر السعادة choose happiness. هيدا وقته، لأنه لسوء الحظ عم نشوف الحروب المشاكل، نحن شعب تعذب كتير. فأنا حبيت هيدا جزء من تقدمي لإلي لهالناس اللي إلها سنين خراب نتأمل السلام جاي، وهيدا بيعطي الكل دافع إيجابي ليقدر يكون هو بحد ذاته بيقدر يحدد سعادته. هيدا اللي أنا بدي الكل يعرفوه. سعادة منا صدفة، كلنا عنا مشاكل. أنا كنت خسرت عائلتي مرة، رجعت 3 مرات على الصفر. أنا كل يوم موجوع، هلا عم حكيكم موجوع، عامل 10 عمليات. مع هيك أنا اخترت كون سعيد وأنا سعيد. بتمنى للكل يطلعوا بحالهم ويقولوا إنه أنا قادر كون سعيد وياخدوا هالقرار. هو طريقة تفكير، هي it's a mindset. So I urge you to choose happiness. بعرف you can. good luck to everybody.
دكتور نبيل، السعادة من أي منطلق، من أي منظار أو من أي معيار، بوقت يمكن في كتير ضغوطات، في ستريس، في حروب، يعني في تهديدات بين حروب دول، وممكن لبنان ينمحى عن الخريطة لهالقد الشعب اللبناني عنده هيدا الأحباط. بس نعرف دايماً أنت بتتوجه على الإيجابية وبناء السلام، يعني عودتنا على دايماً بناء السلام بين المجتمع.
هي السعادة هيدا اللي بدنا نغيره، مش شيء بيصير هيك صدفة. سعادة هو شو نحن بنختار كل يوم. هي ما في، يعني نحن عنا دايما بيقولوا my goal is to be happy، يعني أنا هدفي يكون سعيد. هيدا غلط، بلشنا غلط. هو منه هدف، الهدف له نهاية. السعادة هي الرحلة بحد ذاتها. أنا بدي كل يوم كل دقيقة أختار أكون سعيد. ما حدا سعيد كل الوقت، ولا حدا ما عنده مشاكل، بس في 16 فاكتور الإنسان بيقدر يطورهم لحتى يكون عنده سعادة أكثر ويقدر يصير أضبط ويمشي مع كل هالصعوبات. يعني في منهم هو الإيمان، منهم التفكير الإيجابي، منهم التحكم بالعواطف، الإنسان يكون عنده الامتنان وإلى آخره. نحن شي يوم نفصلهم بتاريخهم لحتى الكل يشوفهم، بس أنا اللي بدي إياهم يعرفوا إنه يقدروا يكونوا أسعد ما هني هلأ. والكتاب بيرجيهم كل الطرق والأساليب كيف بينموا هال16 فاكتور ليقدروا هم يكونوا سعيدين أكثر.
بتقدر تعدد لنا كم فاكتور مكتوبين بالكتاب، أو بتقدر هيك تدلنا على أبرز النقاط ممكن الإنسان يستفيد منهم ويتعلم منهم؟
هو في 4 مناحي إذا بدك، في 4 مطلع فيهم. أول وحدة لها علاقة بالعواطف إذا بدك بنسميه emotional management. الثانية لها علاقة العلاقات العامة loving relationship وكيف نتحكم فيها. 3 الإنسان هو الديركشن وسنس اوف بيربس، يعني يكون عنده هدف هالحياة أسمى وأعلى ما هو هلا. وأخيرا إذا بدك mental وفيزيكال هيلث، اللي هي الإنسان يكون عنده عقليا يكون مرتاح، عنده ورياضيا عم يشتغل على حاله وجسديا. هول 4 هن إذا بدك الأمبريلا الكبيرة للسعادة. والحلو إنه كلهم قادرين ننميهم، وفي حاطط أساليب مختلفة أنا، وفي إشياء بتعملنا غير سعيدين. مثلا إذا نحن منقابل حالنا لحدا تاني أو بدنا نكون بيرفكت مثاليين، أكيد حنكون أنا سعيدين. إنسان بيقابل حاله لحاله. بعدين في هو اليقظة، الإنسان يعيش بالحاضر، لأنه أنا دايما بقول لهم الماضي راح، المستقبل ما فينا نتحكم فيه، كل شيء بيصير باللحظة نفسها. من هيك بالإنجليزي بنقول the present، الحاضر is the present، هو الهدية. من هيك بتمنى على الكل يبلشوا هلأ لأنه قادرين.
شكرا دكتور نبيل، وأكيد رح نترك المجال للكتاب للقراء هن يتابعوا ويقروا الكتاب. شكرا.
أهلا فيكم، وبتمنى أنه تختاروا السعادة لأنه فيكم.
بيقولوا بالمثل تبعنا بيقول رب أخ لم تلده أمك. شو بيصير إذا واحد رب أخ ولدته أمك وكان أفضل منك؟ واحدة من المشاكل اللي كلنا بنمرق فيها لما واحد يكون ما شاء الله كتار بالبيت، يكون 4 أخوة وأخت، أو كان الوالد الله يرحمه ناويله 10 بس ما زبطت معه، اصلا يمكن بس شاف نبيل قرر خلصنا. مشكلة الخي الصغير انه بيجي بياخد محل اللي اكبر منه شوي، ومسابي انا اللي كنت اكبر منه شوي. لما شرف نبيل كان عمري انا 5 سنين، بعتقد حسيت انه حدا اخذ لي بيتي واوضتي واغراضي وتخت امي وكل الاغراض. وبعتقد يمكن طريقة من الطرق هيدا الشيء اثر فيني كتير لليوم. هيدا الشيء اللي خلاني كل الوقت جرب اعمل شيء مختلف، اطلع من الكادر، اطلع من هون، غير هون. يمكن كان بدي امي تنتبه بس ما كانت فاضية، كانت مشغولة بالصغير. نبيل وانا فرق بيناتنا 5 سنين، وبيناتنا عمر. نبيل صار عمره هلا 44 وانا عمري 49. ف نبيل كل هالسنين هاي شوي شوي كان اهدى مني، كان دايما ابتسامته اكبر من ابتسامتي، وكان دايما يمرق بصعوبات ويطلع منها عم يضحك. ما بعرف كم مرة مرق بصعوبات بس كانوا كتار، كنت أعرف فيها لأنه كان يخبرني. وهي الصعوبات كانت على كل المستويات، صعوبات مالية، صعوبات عائلية، صعوبات بالغربة، صعوبات بالرجعة لهون، صعوبات بصحته اللي تعذب فيها منيح، بعتقد صار نص جسمه حديد. بس بالآخر كان يطلع من العملية عم يبتسم وفوت على العملية عم يبتسم. يمكن ما حدا بيلبق له يكتب كتاب تشوز هابينس، اختر السعادة أكثر منه، لأنه بشكل جدي اختار السعادة واختار يكون اللي هو عليه اليوم. لا انجبر ولا اندفش، بالعكس كان عنده كل الأسباب ليكون تعيس ولا يكون سلبي ولا يكون ياخد موقف من الدنيا ومن كل شيء حواليه إنه ليك شو صار فيني وليك شو انعمل فيني وليك شو مرقت. بدل من كل هيدا أخذ موقف كتير بسيط. الدنيا صعبة إيه؟ البلد مأذي إيه؟ نحن عايشين بمنطقة ما حدا بيعرف بكرة شو. كل وقت قاعدين عم نتحذر حنعيش لنا كم سنة منيح ولا لا. الجيل تبعنا اللي خلق بالخمسينات وهلأ عايش تقريبا حيصيروا 70 سنة ما شاف يوم منيح. ويمكن اللي قدر يمشي على السطح على وجه المي ما غطس فيها ضلوا عم يبتسم. نبيل خليك عم تبتسم.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much. Despite everything, you're here because somehow, somewhere, you chose to be happy. Let me first welcome our distinguished guests, colleagues, family members. I thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. I'm going to try to tell you what is the book all about. I hope I will redefine happiness in a way that all of us can cherish it, celebrate it, and embrace it. Let me begin with a saying that we all typically use. We'll say, my goal is to be happy. We hear it often. People say, هدفي إنه أكون سعيد. My goal is to be happy. By itself is an oxymoron. To start with, when you say my goal is to be happy, you're assuming it's a destination and you're trying to seek it. Happiness is not a destination. It's a mindset. It's a journey. The journey itself, every choice you take, day in, day out, what you do is what gives you moments of happiness, which by itself take you where you want to be, whether it's inner peace or a peace of mind. Let me mention a bit what's in the book. The book is a collage of many things, but it's not is an academic book that somebody would take and is difficult to read. It's a practical book that each one of you can use to help their own journey. This is how you can use the book effectively. To start with, you can go to one of the appendices, and it has the 16 factors that actually lead to happiness. These 16 factors, I've put there a self-assessment on each, because many times we deceive ourselves and we say, I am very grateful, or I am very happy. Well, in fact, we're not. So I urge you, before you read the book or look at the strategies, is to actually take the self-assessment, look at it and see where are you on the scale, then go back and look at the book. The book talks about 4 dimensions of happiness, and each dimension has several factors. The first dimension has to do with emotional well-being. The second dimension has to do with relationship, loving relationship, social relationships. The third has to do with a sense of purpose and direction. And finally, the last one has to do with mental and physical health. Each of these has different factors. Nabeel, I dedicated the book to you. I'll take it back if you're going to make noise. These are my grandchildren that certainly bring me a lot of happiness. Allow me, I don't want to take long. What I will describe to you first, what's in the book. I mentioned you have assessment in the appendices. Also, you have some traits that some of us have that are the pitfalls of happiness. I'll give you 1 or 2 examples. People who want to be perfect will become unhappy. People who keep comparing themselves to others will become unhappy, and so on. The list, there's 33 pitfalls that are listed. The other thing that's there, and I hope you take a copy of that page and leave it beside you, it gives you many quick ways within 2 minutes. How can I switch my mood? If I'm feeling upset, if I'm feeling bad, how can in 2 minutes I change my mind? I go out, I breathe, I smile, and all these things that will help you directly in that moment feel better. Also, what's in the appendices is a lot of different strategies that help each of the 16 factors that I will talk about in a minute, how to enhance them. Also, there you will find at one of the appendices is a journal at the end. And in each of the chapters, there's several questions for reflection. Perhaps the most important thing we do in life is self-reflection. That's what gets you going. That's the catalyst for any change you seek and choose to do. Now, how are these factors divided? Simply, it will define each factor. Then after defining it, they will be, how does it enhance happiness? Then, okay, let's say positive thinking as the first factor. If this enhances happiness, you might say, well, how do I become a positive thinker? There are strategies there for you that will show you how can I become a positive thinker. And then there's 2 stories, one from people in history that helped them become happy, and one, a current person you might heard about. It could be a musician, it could be a politician, and so on. After that, so you don't take my word for it, there's a list of researchers who support what I'm saying. There's at least 6, 7 research that will support the fact that this actually can enhance happiness. And of course, within that, there are little tips within each chapter. You'll notice the book, if you open it, it has 4 different colors. And these colors were not chosen at random. The first color is yellow, that deals with emotional well-being. Then you have the blue, that has to do with loving relationships. The purple or lavender is the color for purpose and direction. And finally, green talks about mental and physical health. Allow me for a minute to take this cheat sheet. This summarizes the book, by the way. The emotional well-being, positive thinking. Let me say just one thing about it. Very simple. Imagine the darkest room. the darkest you can imagine. A tiny, teeny candle, when lit, will make sure that you can see, regardless how dark it is. And there's always a silver lining in everything. Emotional management. How often do you lose your temper? Coming here, we were all late. There was an accident, there's trouble, and many of us were unhappy. Some of us may be using some lovely language and screaming as we go. Or instead, you could say, yes, we are late, there's a lot of traffic, but thankfully I have a car, others don't. Thankfully, I'm going to a place that's going to be a happy place. Thankfully, I'm not the person who lost their life in that accident. So always there's a positive twist to anything in life that we can find. Resilience. Possibly, I don't have to tell you as a Lebanese person about resilience. Sadly, although the Lebanese are so resilient, we're translating the book into Arabic, and it is very tough to find one word for resilience. You can say tahammul, you can say muruna, you can say القوة والصلابة رغم الصعاب، بس ما في كلمة صعبة لحتى نلاقيها، مع إنه the Lebanese people, more than anybody, have showed resilience over the years. And I tell you what, I have news for you. Despite what you see, and all that darkness, and all the wars, and all the atrocities, and all the social justice that we see, hope is alive, and we're going to see a wonderful, beautiful Lebanon. This whole area is going to be a shining beacon of peace in the very near future. Then we have mindfulness. Mindfulness is another factor for happiness. Mindfulness is living the moment, enjoying every second. Before I came, I was a bit tired. I took a nap for 22 minutes exactly. Got up, I had a cup of coffee. Then I said, I'm getting late, I better put on. Then I said, practice what you preach. I sat for 5 minutes, took that cup of coffee, of course, شافي صغيرة, and I sipped it. And as I was sipping it, I forgot everything around me, and I was able to enjoy it. This is mindfulness. Mindfulness is to take that minute, that second, and make sure you enjoy the hell of it. Why? Because we all know the past is history. Now, the future is mystery. Now is a gift. This is why they call it the present. So rejoice it, enjoy every minute. Plan like you're going to live forever, but live as if this is your last day. The next one is faith. And we have Sayyidina wa Abuna Ma'na. Faith could be religious, faith could be spiritual. It has to do with goodness, a belief that what goes around comes around. And I don't think any of us could endure what we've endured without having faith and believing that the best is yet to come, that the worst thing that happened to us happened for a good reason. We may not see it at that moment, but it is for a good reason. You know, and I know, we've had many bad experiences and difficulties, but that shaped who you are today. You are who you are today, not just because of the happy moments, not because of the good time, but because of all these difficulties and tough times. Forgiveness. Many people hurt themselves so much because they insist on saying, I cannot forgive that person. They're terrible, they hurt me, they're mean, they're indecent, they're. When you forgive, you help yourself. You release your anger. You feel better about it. You don't forgive whether they deserve it or not. You forgive to make yourself feel better so you can move on with your life. And that's another factor that helps you. The next is relationship and social connection, helping others. Wow, helping others, this is the reason I wrote the book. There's 16 factors. I will name 3. This is one of them that I believe is a key factor in helping you become a happier person. There is no thrill more the thrill of giving. There is no joy more than joy of doing a little something to help somebody. I have news for you. All the good things in life cost you nothing. They're free. You're free. It costs you nothing to be kind. Costs you nothing to love. Costs you nothing to be grateful. Costs you nothing to be empathetic. So start doing it, because it's gonna help you more than it helped that other person receiving it. Loving relationships. And I'm blessed to, since I was a child, to have loving parents who I think I cannot but mention dad and mom, who, if I look at the 16 factors, I find most of them that are represented in one or the other. I'm always grateful that I grew up in a loving, caring, supportive environment. Not to mention my family, my brothers, my sister, my kids, my grandkids now, although I'm 49, like my brother said, and he's very honest about things. 44. So these relationships are so important, and whether it is a friend, a sibling, a spouse, the support, regardless of your relationship with your wife or your husband or your friend, they give you support just by their presence. Sometimes they don't have to say anything. Simply being there is a sense of support and love and strength. Sense of belonging. I think I see that because I belong to the Lewis Network. I belong to Lewis AIS. Our schools, when I talk to parents or I talk to teachers, who many of them are here today, and we survey day in, day out, we hear the first answer why they stay with us is a sense of belonging. They feel it's family, they feel it's supportive, they feel it's caring, and that is crucial. Some find it in a church, some find it in sport clubs, some find it in where they work. It is nothing more beautiful than feeling I have a common vision, a common purpose with some of my colleagues. That brings people together. Gratitude. I've mentioned there are three that are very important to me, and I feel they help me the most: helping others and loving relationships, and certainly gratitude. I believe, to me at least, each of us have different factors that help them more. Being grateful for what you have is perhaps the most important. And Dad, rest his soul, always mastered being grateful. I've never heard him by saying, thank God we have more than we need. So being grateful to me I'm blessed for having way more than I need. And that is really a key thing in driving a person. A person that is not grateful for what they have will not be grateful for what they get. Many people say, if I only can get that, then I'll be grateful. They will get it, and then it's okay to be ambitious. It's good to be ambitious. But you have to enjoy the present and rejoice with what you have while seeking other things. The third dimension is purpose and meaning, a sense of purpose. Sense of purpose to me is, I cannot see myself without it. That's why when I talk to colleagues, whether at school or another organization or banks or head of universities, or if you don't have a purpose in life that is bigger than you, beyond what you do. Purpose in life is not what you work or what's your position or what's your status. To me, it's peace, education, and helping others. A person has to have this, and they have to believe wherever they live, they must leave a legacy. A person that doesn't believe that would never excel. Wherever I go, any job I have, whether I'm volunteering or working, if I can't say in 3 years, look what I have done, then something is wrong. You need to be proud of what you do for you, for nobody else, so you can leave a legacy. Sense of achievement, another factor for happiness. We all know when we work hard, we persevere, and we actually accomplish something. That feeling is beautiful, it's strong, is empowering, it drives you more. Perhaps sense of achievement give you the most self-motivation, which drive you to achieve more. And we all know there's always a valley between two peaks. And that's where your resilience and your gratefulness and your synergy come in. That's the time to regenerate, to use your faith, to use your gratefulness, to use your resilience in order to meet that next peak. Sense of engagement. Again, sense of engagement, it involves, if you will, the loving relationships, and it does have to do with sense of belonging. It's a cross section between the two, and it allows a person to feel alive, which is needed to move on day to day. Fulfillment of interests. How many of you sitting here, you had something you really enjoy, whether it's to paint or to play football or to play tennis or to do yoga or, and you've left it long time ago and you didn't find the time to do it. Something you really want to do. This is the time today to tell yourself now, beginning tomorrow, I am doing. There's nothing more beautiful. There's some things I enjoy. There's no harm at all. When I talked about loving relationship, loving yourself comes at the top. And one of the things to do is to say, myself, my interest, how can I satisfy? I want to do things for me, so that makes me happy. Finally, we have two, physical and mental health. It has good health and physical activity under it. And very simply, health and peace of mind. Alex probably knows it, and Nick, I've been telling them this since they were little. A rich man has three things: good health, peace of mind, and a little faith. And I still believe that the ability to be healthy, people don't appreciate it when they don't have issues. Also, mental health, being at ease, having inner peace is crucial for your happiness. And finally, freedom. Freedom is a term that could be taken in many ways. Freedom to do what I want, freedom to be without any limitations, but that's not the freedom I'm talking about. There are people who are freer than the rest of us that's been in prison all their lives. The most important kind of freedom is the freedom to be yourself, to be authentic. And I've struggled with that for many, many years. How to be authentic, how to be me, regardless who's around and who's there. Or do I have to fit the norms? Do I have to do that? Or could it be me, my authentic self? And that's the kind of freedom that really brings yourself. And I envied for many years people who, this is who they are. Doesn't matter if they're presents of kings or they are helping a garbage person pick up the trash. They stay the same, they stay authentic, they're true to themselves. These are the 16 factors. The good news, every single one of these factors you can enhance and improve, and the strategies are there in the book. Before I end with sharing with you my journey, to tell you that regardless of the difficulties, you can always be happy. And the beauty of it, it's a choice. It's in your hand. The only choice in life we have is how do I react to people's words and actions. It's in our hand. You can't change anybody. It's wishful thinking when we say, I can change him, I can change her. We cannot do that. We can polish few things here and there. But certainly, it's in your hand to choose how do you react and what to do. And similarly, happiness is a mindset, is the journey that you can choose. I would like to thank many, many people my family, my friends, my colleagues that helped me tremendously with this book. They've gave me many input, they've read it, they've reflected, and because of them, it ended being a practical thing that all of us, I hope, can benefit from. ألف شكر للجميع على حضوركم. حنوقع الكتاب. Please help yourself to the reception area while others are signing the book. بدي أقول بس بالعربي، بس للأشخاص اللي يمكن اللغة الإنجليزية مش لغة أساسية. اختر السعادة هو خيار موجود عنا كلنا وقادرين عليه، بغض النظر عن الصعوبات. كلنا عنا صعوبات، بغض النظر عن الأحوال بالبلد. الإنسان بيقدر يكون سعيد أكتر ما هو هلأ. المهم يطلع بهال16 فاكتور، يشتغل على حاله ويقرر أنا بدي يكون سعيد بغض النظر عن كل هالظروف الصعبة. بتمنى للكل تقدروا تاخدوا هالخطوة، ودايما تذكروا إذا وحدة من هال16 حبيتوا تذكروها هي الامتنان. الإنسان اللي عنده امتنان هو الإنسان اللي دايما بيكون سعيد. مشكورين جدا، وهلأ بنوقع الكتاب. يا أهلا وسهلا.